sure I can see what I'm doing. Okay, let's make sure the sound's working. Yay! Cool, you can hear me. Let me bring you closer so you don't have to see the laptop. You can just look at the cards. And we'll push that out of the way. Good morning, water signs. We are up to you, which is a good sign. It means that I'm most likely going to be able to do all the signs for the month of December. Love it. I ran out of time in November for those predictions. So hopefully this time around we are going to also be able to finish the water signs and fire signs last. I hope you're having a beautiful month. Remember that November was a bit tricky from memory. The predictions reading was centered around challenging you in terms of being able to put yourself first this month, which is crazy because that's essentially where the earth signs are at as well. So let's have a look at what you can expect for December now. We're going to start with Pisces. I'll just put that in the chat quickly, and we'll have a look at what Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, or anyone who has strong Pisces placements can expect in the month of December 2025. Without further ado, sweet souls, I'm going to tune in. I'm going to ground myself, and we'll indulge in your beautiful water energy. Spirit, please tune me into Pisces energies. Please help me offer Pisces clear, honest messages about their month ahead. Angels, ancestors, and spirit guides, please connect me to the audience and those who may view this video to be able to offer them the clearest messages and the most helpful messages they need in the month of December. And if there's anything that I fail to see or recognize, please let it come through clearly for those that I'm reading for. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, I feel really drawn to the shells in my little collection up here, which makes sense, but we'll see how that relates to your reading. Spirit, what can Pisces expect in the month of December? What can Pisces expect in the month of December? Oh, alrighty. What can Pisces expect? Okay. Okay, now I'm noticing how crooked this is. There we go. Wow, look at your bottom deck energy, Pisces. We did have this card yesterday. I can't remember who it was for. But this is very much a sign of sorry, look at me, I've got the caffeine shakes again. This is about you trying not to let your own expectations disappoint yourself in the month of December. I actually think that this is a good month to just enjoy yourself more, to not feel like you're always needing to be your best. You know what I mean? You may end this month feeling like there's some things that I didn't get to do. Naturally, it's the end of the year, but those heavier feelings hopefully shouldn't take away from what you're able to enjoy in December as well. When I see this card come out in any capacity, it makes me think that we shouldn't be overcomplicating life. We shouldn't be trying too hard or making things too big or putting too much pressure on ourselves. This card to me has a strong connection to our inner child and to the fact that in December, if you're not honoring your inner child and finding ways to simply be without having to try too hard or perform too much, or even just, feeling like you're pushed to your limits or pushed really far, then it can kind of feel like you're missing the point in December. So big theme. Let's have a look at how that actually relates to your energy over here. Wow. Okay. Hibiscus joy. So we have the sun, we've got Venus, we've got Pluto, Mercury, and the moon. There is a lot of feminine energy here, but there's a strong masculine energy as well between the sun and even Mercury. I wonder if in December, it'll feel like you're being pulled up, like whether it feels like an earthly thing, so maybe materialistically, you know, the pressures of your responsibilities, your job, your bills, your family commitments, your friendship commitments. It feels like all of that is pulling you to do things that you don't want to do, which is very common this time of year. But what's happening internally for you, Pisces, is you're going to have to ride the wave of your emotions to figure out what is best for you. Your feelings are going to be very changeable. You're going to be a little bit more moodier, and you're going to feel like when you're having a bad vibe or a bad mood, it doesn't actually last that long, because it's not like your empathetic nature seems to be taking everything on. And as soon as you're able to let that moment pass, as soon as you're able to disconnect from that person, from that situation, you'll feel better straight away. If anything, I see you as an individual not having too much. Like you're not feeling too bad, you're not feeling too good, like you're quite neutral. And that's mostly because the people around you are impacting you. But your baseline, sweet souls, you end this year with a feeling of neutrality. And you're not wanting to get caught up in other people's business. You don't want to get caught up in other people's plans or expectations, whether they're your parent, your partner, like your child, like whatever it is, however you love them and know them. There's this strong sense of you holding your ground and realizing like, geez, that doesn't actually bother me as much as it bothers other people, which is saying something, because you're an empathetic water sign. Sometimes you feel too much and you care too much. So I actually don't mind this for you, but I want to have a look at it more with tarot to really get to the bottom of how this is playing out for you. So let's have a look with tarot now. Spirit, what is happening in the month of December for Pisces? What is happening in the month of December for Pisces, Spirit? Okay, we have the Emperor. Okay, we have the Queen of Presents. We have the Six of Presents. And at the back of the deck is the Strength card. Let me just stew on this for a second. I'm going to have some tea. Goodness. And I knocked my tissues down. How chaotic of me. All right. Spirit, what is happening in December for Pisces? Tune me into Pisces energy. Look at you showing up for yourself here. We have some South Node energy, 5th house energy, Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius is like your sibling in a weird way. You have a connection through Jupiter, and both being mutable signs, encountering energies. So Sagittarius is like the fire child of, you know, Jupiter, and you're the water child of Jupiter. That's my understanding, at least. That's a little insight into my brain. For you, Pisces, December feels like it's about tuning into your Jupiter ruler. It's about enjoying the flow of the month. If you get it done, you get it done. If you don't, it's not going to end everything. Like there's going to be something else you can do. And I think that some of you are having to manage other people's expectations and feelings. It could be your partner's. Again, it feels like loved ones. So I see you having to manage other people and make sure that they're not losing their head and they're not feeling like this time of year is getting the best of them. Your disposition feels very free and flowing, and you know, you may even just have very open plans for how you want to spend the holidays, for example, for how you want to plan for things this month. And your energy is calling for you to have exit plans as well. I'm looking at a lot of signs that you're going to have to step up for people because you care so much, because they've either asked you to or because they really want you to be there. With the Emperor and the Queen of Presents, there's this strong feeling of like you're managing people, you're finishing this year strong, leaving a really good impression at work, with your family, with your friends. You're showing that you're responsible, you're stepping up, you're achieving those practical goals that you've set out to achieve in December. You're getting your short-term and long-term plans in order, setting yourself up for the new year. I see a positive feeling of accomplishment when it comes to your money, your home, and how you're spending money and making money to support your lifestyle here with the Queen of Presents. Even if you're taking on more responsibility at work or you're agreeing to do more in the new year, December is a really good month for you. You're handling it well. And it's coming through as like you've been building yourself up for this. This is the month to really celebrate the fact, and that's why we have the Strength card here. Celebrate the fact that you've grown a lot this year, Pisces. You've really reset some big personal cycles with the Strength card. You've created some beautiful new cycles, and you've also ended some cycles that you've outgrown, cycles that no longer associate with your energy because you're not that person anymore. And I think with the Strength card here, a lot of people are recognizing that, and you may find that first of all, people are complimenting you and telling you this. They want you to know that they see you trying, they see you achieving, they see you as someone that's gaining success. And I don't know why it's so hard for me to say, because look at the cards that we have. You are successful. Look at how far you've come. Like, that's the sign that you've, to an extent, made it. And yet I'm having a hard time acknowledging it. So I don't know if you're not feeling that way. Maybe in the month ahead, you're going to feel like, oh, but there's always something else. You know, I'm not quite where I want to be yet. I've still got to do this. I've still got to do that. I'm still working towards this. But just accept it and own it and enjoy it as well, please, because you deserve those props, those snaps and that praise. And it's going to help your month feel worth it, because naturally this is the kind of month where things do get busier. I don't see you being too affected by it, but I do see, again, you being affected by other people's energy. Your energy looks good. I picked that up in the Oracle cards and it's confirmed in the tarot. So I think what's happening up here is the people around you losing their heads, getting overwhelmed, projecting accidentally, you know, taking it out on you. And you're the one that's going to have to be like, okay, how involved am I going to be here? Because for most of you, with the South Node there, this is a pattern in those relationships. Maybe you have a best friend who tends to take it out on you or expect too much from you or automatically sign you up for things you don't want to do. Maybe you have a sibling who's always dropping the ball and then you're having to pick up the mess. Or maybe it's a parent dynamic. Whatever it is, you're recognizing it and you're going, ugh, what can I do here to make sure that I'm still enjoying myself. Fifth house energy is usually very playful, very at times romantic, and it's all about just enjoying the energy in the moment, creating experience out of what you feel and the stimulus and the energy. But when it's reversed, it to me feels like someone's sucking all the fun out of it. You know, it's like when people force you to go on a date, or when they tell you, come on, it's going to be fun, and they didn't really ask you what your version of fun is. So you're just watching them kind of have fun, and you're just like, what? This is not my version of fun. So with that in mind, you approach those situations with a strong sense of knowing. You're going to recognize it from a mile away, and you're going to be able to go, yeah, I don't think I want to do this. So there's this strong feeling of you being able to have an exit plan in social situations, in celebrations, in family commitments, you know, all of those things. Have an exit plan, take care of yourself, and maybe find a way to be able to leave when you're ready. Is there anything else Pisces needs to know? We got to talk about the Six of Presents reversed. Overall in December, the Six of Presents hints at some sort of imbalance with resources. Now we see you managing your resources really well over here. Queen of Presents, these are like pentacles. You're handling your business. You're trying your best to stay on top of it. It's already a crazy time of the year, but you're handling your business. And yet over here, we've got an imbalance. Someone's giving too much, someone's taking too much, and it's just not adding up. Whether we're talking about money, time, or effort, could be all of the above. This is where I see other people's lack of organization, communication, preparation, all of those things that create flow in situations where you're collaborating, affecting you. So it's really important that to whatever extent you can control, you try to be aware of that. Don't let their chaos or lack of preparation, organization, communication drag you into overspending. Because I think that if you're really focusing on saving money, you're very likely to save the money that you need before you need it, even in a month like December where everybody's spending like crazy. The only thing that could sway you is someone that you care about or feel obligated to asking you at the last minute to chip in for a big gift. And you're like, I've been budgeting this whole month. Are you serious? Why didn't you tell me in November? So the other thing I see here is, you know, you're handling your business, you're working towards your goals. You've organized your December month so that you have scheduled time off to isolate yourself, recharge, go on your little side quest, and come back feeling refreshed. This could be a last minute request for you to go to something that wasn't communicated to you earlier, and you're going, really? And you feel obligated to be there, but you don't want to be there. Now, if you respectfully bow out, that's not going to change how people feel about you. If anything, it's going to make people respect you more and understand, like, okay, it's all right. You've had a big year. You've been through it. And this month, you know, is already crazy. I understand. So please don't feel obligated, and really consider the situation for what it is. Because I see you for once, like, sorry, not to be rude or disrespectful, but for once, you're really all over it. And the people around you who are usually the responsible ones are kind of falling apart. And that's where your empathy gets pulled in. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Pisces. I feel very proud of you. I hope you're proud of yourself too. Find ways to celebrate yourself and to acknowledge what you're doing and what you have achieved already, let alone what you're going to achieve in 2026. I think that's going to be a really good year for you. It is in the zodiac, #1 year in the Chinese zodiac. So, you know, maybe this is a big year for new beginnings for you. But let's have a look now at your finances and career, and then we're going to close with your love life. So Spirit, what is happening for Pisces when it comes to money? We got a little hint with the Queen of Pentacles and that Six of Pentacles. In this deck, those present cards are Pentacles. So let's have a look now at what Tarot says specifically about your finances and work. Okay, Ace of Potions reversed. What's happening with Pisces money and work, career, and finances? Okay, we will take these as little supplementary cards, but I'm not going to read them yet. At the back of the deck is the King of Presents. So let me just tune in. Spirit, what is happening here? Wow. Mercury reversed again. The last time we saw this card, this planet was up here in the Gochukola card, which is the higher consciousness card. We also have the 6th house over there, and it's reversed again. To me, the 6th house has a very similar energy to that 6 of Presents reversed. And then over here, we have Cancer showing up on the Joy card reversed. Now, I don't think it's that you won't have joy. That's not why that card's reversed. I just want to be very clear in that because I don't think I've addressed that directly. I feel like that Joy card is reversed because you're trying to prioritize and focus on your joy. The planets on this card are Venus and Pluto. If we're talking about joy, why are we bringing up Pluto? You know what I mean? Because in your case, Pluto is giving you warning signs before shit hits the fan, so to speak. Sorry for swearing. I always do these live streams really early in the morning and my brain is just like waking up with you. So Pluto is here to help you recognize those warning signs, those red flags before these experiences, these situations, these people and their behaviors steal your joy. It feels like you're going to have to actively focus on joy, meaningful moments, sentimental opportunities to connect. I'm running out of fingers here. And recognizing when other people are projecting instead of recognizing you in that moment. And you're really good at doing that. Regardless of how old you are, how much experience you've been through, your Pisces intuition is going to have your back. So for your finances, when it comes to your home, protect your home. Not everybody needs to be in your space. I actually think that in December, having a quiet Christmas at home, or even just, going to Christmas at somebody else's home and coming back to your home as your sanctuary is a good practice. If you don't celebrate Christmas, it's just about being aware of how other people bring their heavy stuff into your personal space. And so for me, Cancer represents even our loved ones and how when they're going through it, they can really affect our peace. And as much as we want to be there, we can still show up and be there with love and with boundaries. And I think if you are feeling like the own people in your household, if you share your home with someone or you share personal space with someone, even in your day-to-day, personal space can look like having to catch public transport on your way to and from work or errands. And, this time of year, those situations are overcrowded. It can feel very uncomfortable, but it can also feel like you're taking on everybody else's feelings, everybody else's stuff, energy. So having those safe places to decompress, to protect, whether that's in your home or other people's home, it actually makes me think of my brother who's a Pisces. I feel like I bring him up all the time. I'm sorry for that. But he is making time to come to my house this afternoon. And I know he's been going through it. He's actually on his Emperor stuff right now, trying to get another job. So I'm going to cleanse my space, make it safe for him, and allow him to just be whatever he needs to be when he's here. So I feel like that is kind of what's happening here when it comes to finances and work and career and money. I do think that you may need healthy boundaries with some of the people you love and care the most, just because of the type of season it is, right? Now, the other thing is, I actually see you spending a lot of time at home, and this is going to help you save money when you need to. I see you focusing on a loan or an agreement here, and either taking out more money to get you through this period and revisiting that agreement to make sure that you have what you need over this period, or you're going to have to revisit that loan in order to look at where you might not be meeting that agreement. It could feel like, damn, I didn't hit that goal, or I didn't pay off that payment like I wanted to. I think what's happening here is there is some miscommunication here with some things that you thought you were all over, and it's coming through as like payments and just being a little bit late. It's fixable. It's not worth worrying about, but it's those little things that when you add them up together, it kind of gets in your head and it makes you feel like you're not in your Emperor energy, you're not in your Queen of Pentacles energy. We have proof that you will be, but I can see with your cards and with the dice here that money is a sensitive topic. And in December, it feels like you're either still catching up after spending a lot of money earlier this year, or you're feeling like you're still not where you want to be financially. And in the short term, there's something happening with work and your home. It could be moving, you could be changing jobs, you could be, again, trying to pay off a mortgage or another loan in the next 6 months. And it just feels like you're subconsciously feeling that pressure in December. So what I can tell you realistically is that you are going to have to look into some flexible options, get ahead of yourself, because December is chaotic. If you feel within your instincts that you need extra cash, or you don't want to have to spend too much, look into ways that you can defer that payment, you know what I mean? Or put a hold on that payment. Because I think with the King of Presents reversed, your finances are calling for you to just loosen the amount of expectations you have on yourself. It's not to say that you can't do it. And again, it's not going to cause major repercussions, but it is going to give you peace of mind. It is going to be more realistic, and it is going to help you enjoy the month. So I would just encourage you, a quick email, little Google search, look at your bank's page, look up your electricity company, you know, are there any rebates or payment support things that can help you? Because what's happening here is it feels like there's a big shift happening with the way that you make money and spend money, but it can't fully transform. Like it can't, what's the word? I'm really struggling with my words this morning. It can't fully develop until the new year. So instead of stressing about it, worrying about it, it's not the end of the world. Get that help, get that support, you know, put that little deferment plan in place. Look into ways that you can give yourself peace of mind this month. And then in December, or towards the end of December, January, it feels like you're going to have a better idea of what these changes look like. What is this transformation? How are you actually getting on top of your money by changing the way that you make money, spend money? With the Ace of Potions here, it's not about not being able to do it. It actually feels like you're worried about letting people down. You're worried about taking advantage of a situation. And you may even be telling yourself, like, is it really that bad? And it's not about that. I think that the Ace of Potions with the Mercury card is like recognizing something early so that it doesn't get worse in the future. Is there anything else we can say, Spirit? Just to help ease your mind, because I feel like I'm saying some things that could trigger like fear, like, oh my God, really? That's going to happen with my money? But I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as like a security blanket, a little cushioning for, the month ahead, so that you don't feel like, oh my God, like I really got to do a lot of catching up in January. Well, no, actually. First of all, we're all going through that, and you're doing really well. So this is just extra advice, extra information if you need it. But I would ultimately say trust your instincts, trust your plans. And with this Eight of Presents reversed, it's not about trying to be prepared. It's actually about being flexible, because preparation for the change that you're going through isn't really the most helpful thing. You're going to learn as you go. You're going to gain experience, skills, knowledge, money as you go. The best thing that you can do is just put yourself out there to receive, and take that time off to look after yourself. Your health is wealth with the Eight of Presents reversed. To me, this is about being open to changing careers, being open to changing the way that you, again, spend money, make money, being open to resetting, using the end of the year as a hard reset button. And in that period, just focusing on your health and managing what you have right now, which is why those deferred things came through as like a suggestion. It's not a straight up prediction for all of you. It's just advice if you need it. Three of Presents is also here to say that an opportunity for work could be opening up through a friend or an ex-colleague. Someone who you used to know could be supporting you and saying, hey, I'm going to put your name in here. Opportunities to collaborate through work helps get your name in the right places so people can see what you have, your experience, and potentially give you something to look forward to in the new year. A new position within your current workplace or a new job altogether with this Eight of Presents reversed. A massive shift in priorities is what I see the Eight of Presents as. Instead of working on something that has been taking a lot and not generating the the results we want, we're open to trying something new if it's going to be more rewarding. Let's see what your supplementary cards were about. Wow. We have the Page of Needles, the King of Candles. What else is here? The Eight of Potions reversed, and the Queen of Potions upright. So Pisces, the last message I have for your finances, I do think that this is a good month to be open-minded and to consider changing things up, whether that includes doing a little bit of study as well, like a short course, or pausing study to get back on your grind and to, make some money in the meantime. Changes to how you make money and spend money are going to help you feel more stable, more in control, more prepared for what the year has for you. And it's coming through very casually. Your next opportunity is like a casual conversation. You bump into somebody you used to know in the grocery line and they say, hey, how have you been? Be honest. The King of Candles reversed indicates that your pride might beat you down a little bit. Like, I had a really hard time acknowledging what you've been through and how proud you should feel for the right reasons. But the King of Candles reversed makes me think that you might not represent yourself well. You are an incredibly experienced and you're kind of an asset in this situation. So don't be afraid to, you know, say like, hey, what are you doing now for work? What's going on? Did you ever finish that project? Are you still collaborating with so-and-so? Because I think that being open in that situation is really going to pay off in the long run. It's going to give you something to think about throughout December. And once your heart is ready, once you feel confident within yourself, intuitively, instinctively, once you feel like, okay, this is the right thing for me, then it's just going to fall into place. It's not going to be a matter of, oh, I feel bad for leaving. I feel guilty for walking away. I feel like a failure for not finishing. It's about recognizing this is the next step in my journey and I'm ready for it. I'm not leaving anything behind. I'm claiming what I deserve. I'm claiming what's been waiting for me with the Eight of Potions, which makes me think that this is a situation that you may have already started once upon a time and now you get to finish it. You may have always wanted to do this and now you get the chance to do it. So let's have a look at your love life now. Pisces, love life, please, Spirit. My gosh, and my longest sign so far. I'm looking at the time like, wow. I thought Capricorn was long. All right, Spirit. What is happening in love for Pisces? We have the Nine of Candles. We also have the Hanged Man. So that's your energy showing up, Neptune energy. What else is happening for Pisces, Spirit? Wow. And we have the Eight of Candles. At the back of the deck, Pisces, is the Emperor again. This time it's reversed. So when it comes to love, I do feel like, okay, if you're in a relationship, it could feel like you and your partner are wanting December to go differently. One person is either being too ambitious and they just want things to kind of happen straight away, or they want things to happen in a very unrealistic way that it's coming across as very ambitious, but also it feels like it's a bit controlling. It's a bit like it dominates and you're having to softly and carefully redirect them and tell them like, look, I don't know about that. I don't think that's what I can do. Now, if you're single, you have this energy around you of loud people kind of coming your way. And it could be that there's somebody that's interested in you more than you're interested in them. But it just feels like they're not making room for you. You're showing up as somebody who's not taking a lot of space up. Like you're not taking up a lot of space in a situation. You're choosing to energetically hold space, but you're not being loud. You're not, you know, trying to prove anything. You're not trying to, you're just trying to be. And if this person softened, they would feel your strength. But instead, they're showing up as insecure or a little like frazzled, and they've lost their, what's the word? Like they've lost their sense of certainty. And so it feels like in love, there's this energy here who's very worried about where things could go with you, and they feel rushed, they feel impulsive, they feel like they do little things to try to control you or to try to like get it over you. Sorry, I just took a sip of my tea. That was kind of the worst time to pause. But it kind of feels like they're not recognizing you. Like you have this love interest who's just overlooking. And I feel really sorry in that situation because it's more than being underestimated in love. It actually feels like you have to patiently let them do their chaotic, you know, running in circles, going crazy. And then you're going to be there like, I told you so. this was obviously, this is obviously how it was going to happen. But I also think that when it comes to romance, there's a platonic connection in your life that is impacting your ability to enjoy love, because the people around you seem to really be pulling on your Pisces energy. They want you around them in December. They're enjoying your energy, and they're feeling like they're not getting the best of you, because it feels like you're saving, you're self-preserving in December. But you're coming across as very mysterious. You've got loved ones going, what's happening in your love life, whether you're single or seeing someone or not. People are like, what's going on with Pisces? What's happening? Hanged Man reversed. Has anybody heard from Pisces? And then when you do pop up, you're making that about them. And so people could spend the whole day with you and then go, wow, I actually didn't know. Pisces didn't tell me anything. I ended up talking about myself the whole time. So love is interesting to me. Like for you, it just doesn't feel satisfying. Look at all this tension, like 9 of Candles, 8 of Candles, Hanged Man reverse, Emperor reverse. What is happening in love for Pisces in December? Lots of tension. Wow. So we do have you recognizing that with the end of the year, again, is this going to bring a new beginning for me in 2026? Is this the perfect opportunity for me to start a new cycle for myself? Is this situation in my love life worth me working through? Or do I try to cut cords and give myself a fresh start? Big question marks. Look at this Uranus energy. Now, Uranus has this desire to transform things, to give us possibilities that we couldn't have possibly thought about ourselves. Likes to create, innovate, and bring in curveballs that really throw us, like makes us think, wow, where did that come from? What is that about? But in order to do that, and in order to see those opportunities, first of all, let alone act on them, we have to have the clarity mentally, and we have to have the certainty within ourselves. Otherwise, like the Fool card, we get held back. So is someone holding you back in love? And who is it? Is it a platonic connection? Is it a love interest? You have this new chapter knocking on your door. Within your subconscious, you can feel it. But there's someone here, it feels like it could even be a friend, that's somewhat of a bad influence. Because when the two of you get together with this Hanged Man energy, you fall into self-destructive patterns or very isolated cycles of dependence where you're not helping each other see a future. You're keeping each other held in the past. So when it comes to love, is there somebody who's holding you back because they're encouraging you to be somebody you've already outgrown, a version of yourself that isn't connected to who you are now? And I also think with this Sagittarius energy and the 8 of Candles, there is this feeling here of your love life trying desperately to expand in December. Your love life wants to act as a catalyst that could bring in different experiences, some really quick change, some spontaneous excitement, but it also feels like it happens so quickly that it throws you off balance a little bit, and it makes you question, oh, is this the right thing to do? Should I be acting like this? Am I being too impulsive and spontaneous, or is this secretly my subconscious coming through? Am I self-destructing? Am I like trying to cope with unhealthy coping mechanisms? Like what is what do I need to do? So when it comes to love, tension is high, and there's somebody who's not really helping you see everything. They're giving you a very specific narrative in love. It feels like a friend. It could be a situationship. It could be a loving relationship, but it's coming through with the Hanged Man reversed as someone who's trying to keep you stuck, keep you set in your ways. And again, they're projecting. You have a lot of people around you in December who project onto you. And in the moments, especially when it comes to love, you may take it on and then realize, oh, this isn't actually what I want. This isn't me. This is them. So overall, I see you handling your business in December, but these are just some things to be mindful of, especially when it comes to love, when it comes to your financial goals, and when it comes to making sure that you have an exit plan with your social commitments and all of that. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Pisces. I'm going to have to end your reading there. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your energy and your support, and I wish you a prosperous, abundant, beautiful month ahead. I'm going to do my little spiel for you before we go into Scorpio. As we part ways, Pisces, I wish you prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Let's go to Scorpio now. Hi, Mika. Is it Mikasa Ackerman? I'm so sorry, sweet soul. I don't know when you posted that, but welcome. It is so lovely to have you here. I got so wrapped up in Pisces, I didn't even look at the chat. Let's have a look at Scorpio now. Spirit, please tune me into Scorpio's energy. Please help me offer Scorpio clear, honest messages about their December month. What is happening for Scorpio in December? Can't believe we're nearly in 2026. That is wild. What is happening in December for Scorpio, Spirit? Okay. Oh, wow. Look at how the whole deck had to reset just for your cards, Scorpio. That is crazy. Oh, wow. Valerian, number 44 with acceptance. And we also have Neptune on this card. And then we've got St. John's wort or St. John's wort, radiance, the number 2, and the sun. The sun has been coming out for so many different signs, but already we're seeing a similar energy to Pisces. So for you, Scorpio, with the sun upright, December is going to be about making sure that you enjoy the things that you've planned for, because you've already got things in motion. And so all you have to do is see it through at this point. With the number 2 here, make the most out of those choices, those plans, and enjoy those people that you've planned to see. Enjoy the celebrations you've planned to be a part of, and enjoy the time alone that you've planned for as well. I do think that Valerian here is encouraging you to let the people around you be who they are. As we transition into December, you have to accept that people are going to live however they want to live. And this feels very personal. It feels like it's about a loved one taking a different course to you. It feels like you holding love without, stepping up and being there for them in every step of their journey. It's about giving them the dignity to live life how they want. And it's about you accepting that they think they know better, even if they don't. So what's happening here is I feel you are actively choosing self, because the alternative is disappointment by the fact that people you're trying to help don't want your help as much as you thought. And this also feels like the cycle of life where like I was just talking about this with my auntie the other day, like weeding our gardens, we're over it. In the tropics where we live, it rains, then there's sun, and then it rains, and then there's sun. It's really good for plants, but it also just like the weeds are crazy. And I said to her, at this point, I'm just like, it is what it is. I'm just gonna weed if I feel like it, and just keep watering when it's hot and just let the plants grow, and I'm not even going to worry about the weeds because they're always going to be there. And that's what this feels like, using the weeds as like a metaphor or an analogy for how the people in your life, the choices that they make and how that makes you feel. As much as you want to help, it is what it is. Letting people sort of do what they want to do. So you may be feeling a little bit emotionally estranged from certain loved ones in December. And you may also be feeling a desire to be closer to people this month as well. And so it's about trying to understand those feelings and make the most out of the chances that you do have. Look at what's at the back of the deck. I wish I looked sooner. That would have helped. But it was there this whole time. We're tuned in. We have Motherwort, Strength, the number 13, and Venus. You have a lot of compassion. You've got a lot of compassion and even patience, Scorpio, in December. I see you being there for people. So I don't know what that was about, because you're doing a lot for the people that you love, and they're very grateful for you as well. I see you really being a helpful role in a lot of people's lives by simply being, by showing up, by listening, by answering that call, by acknowledging how they feel, by validating their experiences. You don't have to do much with this motherwort energy. By holding compassion, holding space, you're doing enough. Now, at the end of the day, to me, motherwort is also about self. Right? That's why we're in that energy in the first place. How are you expected to be patient and compassionate to others unless you're taking care of yourself first? So Scorpio, clear sign here to really follow through those plans that you have for yourself in December, to honor the self-care practices you've put in place for yourself, to put energy into self. Investing in self pays off because it helps you feel stronger, better, but it also helps you be there for the people that you want to be there for. An emphasis on want to be there for. You're not just doing this for everybody and their dog. You're doing this for the people that you love and care about and who you want to be there for. So let's have a look at tarot now. What can you expect, Spirit, when it comes to December? What can they expect? Spirit, what can Scorpio expect in the month of December? Okay. Wow, look at that. We have the 8 of Needles reversed. I like that. Getting a clear perspective of your situation and making choices that helps free you from feeling stuck. The Moon coming out, so subconscious feelings, sentimental feelings. This is also where your heart is being pulled. So you might be holding other people's secrets in December. People are confiding in you, telling you things, and you're going, okay, I'm going to honor that and keep that. There's also this energy here of a cycle repeating. Maybe this time of year is hard for you and you're preparing for it. Maybe someone around you has a hard time this time of year and you're preparing for it. Spirit, what else? We have the King of Needles. So at this point, I'm seeing a strong Pisces energy. We also had Taurus. We do have a little bit of Leo here with the lion and obviously the sun. But Pisces, Taurus, and Leo are the strongest signs so far. At the back of the deck is Judgment, so we also have Aquarius and Scorpio showing up here in Judgment. Spirit, what is happening overall in December for Scorpio? Wow, so Libra has come out to clarify the moon, the King of Needles, and how they're related to St. John's wort or St. John's wort. And then we also have Pluto up here to clarify Valerian's connection to St. John's wort. And then we also have the 7th house down here to add more definition to the moon. I think that I just want to talk about the Judgment card first. With the Judgment card reversed, it feels like overall this month uncovers baggage around you. Like people around you are shedding layers, and it's helping you all as a community move forward. It's helping you all as a community break cycles, choose a future together, create some beautiful memories, some celebrations. Maybe there's a birthday happening in December that you're going to, that you're celebrating, and it just feels like there's a lot of highs that help outweigh all the lows, all of people's really, like if your community has been through it this year, I can see that there's going to be enough highs, enough positive moments to help you all move forward. And for you, it feels holistic. It's hard for you to just look at yourself in December because everywhere you turn, you're all kind of on the same wavelength, you're all moving in the same direction, and you're very focused on your relationships with the 7th house and Libra. December is about honoring the people who are meaningful to you, who you have those core relationships with, who are special to you for whatever reason, whether they're, you're married to them or they've been there for you when you really needed them and now you want to be there for them. It feels like December is about honoring the important people in your life and really making things special for each other. With that being said, Judgment is about revelations. It's about looking at something honestly, and you can't avoid it now. It's very clearly going to happen regardless of if we want it to. So as an individual and a part of your community, some true shifts, changes, and wake-up calls are either still happening in December because they've already started and this is just the tail end, or they're just starting. But it is helping all your loved ones move forward together. And navigating that feels very subjective. What you're wanting and where you're at in your journey is different to where your best friend is, to where your sibling is, to where your parent is, to where your child is, to where your spouse is, your partner, etc. So that's where the acceptance seems to come in, is that we all know the message. Everyone in your community knows and is trying to honor that truth, the awakenings, the shifts, the transmutations of, well, we can't keep doing this. We're in a new era now. We've got to embrace Aquarius's energy. We've got to be ready for that new zodiac year, for the year of the horse, for what that means. And sorry to just bring up so much random stuff then. But basically, December really sets it in and makes you more aware of how everybody is technically moving in the same direction, but at their own pace. And you've got to find a way to navigate that. So what I'm seeing with the 8 of Needles here, you start the month with a strong sense of, I'm not a victim. I'm not being manipulated to do anything I don't want to do. I am ready to step up in the ways that I want to, but I'm also doing it for me. I'm not doing it on other people's terms. And any plans I make, any actions I take, have to be centered around my best interest. And so there's something about this that feels like you're really trying to advocate for yourself. Like it feels very much like you're trying to prove to somebody else, like maybe you've got a loved one who's like, hey, like I'm worried that you're doing too much right now, or that you're taking on too much of their problems. And you're saying, no, I'm my own person. I do what I want to do. And it's in my best interest to do this too. So this strong sense of advocacy for self is actually helping you get to where you need to be in December, because I actually see you being a little bit booked and busy, Scorpio. I see you being a little more social than I've seen you be earlier in the year. Earlier in the year, you were being very recluse. You were just sort of keeping to yourself. In December, you're out and about. You're catching up with people. And these are people you want to be around, but there's also people there who you may not be familiar with. And so advocating for yourself and stepping into this energy really helps with your mood, your mindset, helps you enjoy those moments more. Under the surface, throughout the whole month, we're having this moon energy. It feels subconscious, but it also feels like, you know, after that public appearance or that social event is done, this is you decompressing. Throughout the month, you need to find healthy ways to decompress, to reset, to recharge, and to do the things that help you feel more balanced regularly, not just once in the month of December, regularly, maybe even daily for some of you. Now, I think the moon is also talking about your emotional shifts. Now, Scorpios, in my experience, unless they're unmasked and fully comfortable with you, they're very good at compartmentalizing feelings. And I'm very grateful to have so many Scorpios in my life who can unmask with me and be themselves and let it out. And I get to witness that vulnerable side of them. But I think the moon is saying that you're going to be compartmentalizing yourself a lot in December, because there's certain people, places, situations where you can't unfilter that emotion and fully express that thought and feeling. But you have to then find a space to do that, please, because it is going to come out in those close relationships, and it is either going to be misdirected or it's going to build into something more than what it was originally. Deeper feelings are occurring, deeper awareness is happening, but it's like time and place. You're trying to be careful about what you say and when you say it and who you say it to, being very diplomatic with your true feelings, your true thoughts, and your fears as well. You're being very careful because with the King of Needles, I even see you in spaces where you're mediating, where you're having to listen to two sides of the story, one person's version of events, another person's version of events, and then you're having to give your mediated advice or opinion to help bring resolution. In situations where you're trying to play peacemaker or decision maker, I would encourage you to once again have an outlet, because with the Libra energy here, it's good to be in that role. It means people respect you. People want to hear from you and what you have to say. People trust you. But I just come back to this and I'm like, ooh, please look after yourself, Scorpio. Don't take on something that gives you so much responsibility at a time when, you know, you're supposed to be enjoying life. So having your outlets and relying on your support network, especially during moments where you're expected to support others and be a powerful, reasonable, critical decision maker for them. Now, I want to say that by the end of December, with the King of Pentacles here, you're most likely going to feel like the way the month has planned out was much better than you were expecting. You didn't have to worry as much as you were worried about it in November. Your plans went, for the most part, according to plan, in some cases even better. You're going to realize that less was more. You didn't have to put too much effort into it all, and you're going to have ideas of that you need to kind of follow up on with key people. After meeting up with them in December, you're going to feel like, okay, I need to make more time for them in the next 3 months. I'm going to follow up on what we spoke about, and I'm going to make it happen in the next 3 months. So you finish December with this plan and some big decisions to make about your short-term future that will positively benefit your relationships, that will positively benefit your community and also your social battery, because you've realized that there are people in your life who you love and you want to make more time for them, and you want to find ways to invest in those relationships as well. Now, just quickly up here with the Valerian card and St. John's wort, with the Pluto energy in between, I do see this month working out better than you had expected. That's where that message came from, was this dynamic up here. You don't have to be too worried. I know it's easier for me to say from the outside, but a lot of your fears aren't necessarily going to happen. It's going to be a beautiful month for you, Scorpio. So let's have a look at your career and your finances now. And a lot of that comes from accepting the situation, accepting people for who they are, and accepting you for being a human being who can only do what they can do. That's going to really help your month be as successful as it is. So Spirit, what is happening for Scorpio in terms of their money and their work, anything finance related? What is happening for Scorpio in December in terms of their finances? Okay, we have the King of Needles again, stop. We have the Lovers card. Look at Jack and Sally. And we also have the Ace of Needles. Let me show you these cards a little bit closer as well. Feel free to pause if you want to. Look at Frankenstein watching his creations right now. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I like that. It feels deceiving. Anyway, not for you. It's just like, you know, if you've watched Nightmare Before Christmas, Frankenstein always creeped me out. Ace of Potions reversed is your bottom deck energy. Wow. I kind of love that. Look at that dynamic. Self-love, pouring into self before you pour into others, because that's where your power lies when it comes to your money. Isn't that interesting? We've got a lot of love here in your money. You're spending money on a loved one, buying a big gift for them maybe, saving up to see a loved one, to do something for love. Goodness me. Ace of Potions, you really want to do this though, but it's a sentimental gesture, it's a heartfelt gesture. It's not really like practical, or like if you had to justify it to an accountant that didn't have a soul, maybe it would be like, you know, like they'd be like, really, you're going to spend that much money on this? Like, this isn't adding up. But you're not coming from that place. You're coming from your heart and doing what is right in December, and balancing that sense of what is right between what is right for self and what is right for the people that you love. So a lot of your money, a lot of your choices about money, how you make money, how much to work, how much to take time off, how much to spend, how much to save, is coming from you trying to consciously make time for self, because subconsciously you're wanting to spend money on other people, but you're also feeling like you need to make an effort to do things for self. Now, your money has that heartfelt attachment. So the King of Needles is actually our saving grace here, good ways. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a beautiful big heart, but the King of Needles gives me a bit of peace of mind, because it means that your decisions when it comes to money are very well thought out, and it's really important that you stay in that critical mindset where you're balancing things out and you're looking at everything and trying to make that fair judgment on what to spend, on when to work, on how to make it happen. It's not about having all the information, it's about feeling at peace with that decision when it comes to what you're doing with your money, so that you can accept the responsibility of the outcome as well. If you're doing things impulsively, the aftermath is that you could feel betrayed by your own actions, right? You could feel like, why did I do that? What the heck? Where did that come from? So we're seeing the opposite with you. You're putting thought into it, you're considering it, you're weighing it up, you're looking at, you know, both sides of that coin. I want to do stuff for me, I want to do stuff for my loved ones. And you're putting in that extra thought to be conscious and fair with how you decide to spend your money, make your money. Now, this is translating into the Lovers card reverse. So I do think that maybe you're going to spend more money than you originally wanted to, but I don't think it's the end of the world, sweet soul. I think you're being hard on yourself with your money. What do you think, Spirit? 7th house reversed, yeah. I mean, you might be owing a little bit more money than you had planned to in December. 7th house reversed, Lover's card reversed, taking out a short-term loan, extending the overdraft, putting in a deposit, like that kind of stuff, you know, where you're like, you're investing in it or you're loaning the money. And in that case, obviously get advice, make sure it's the right thing to do. Professional advice may be helpful. Objective advice will be helpful. But I think what's happening here is coming up with a plan to pay something off that you want to experience in December. So you're saying, I want to experience it now, but I'm going to have to handle the finances later. That's what this feels like. Is it bad? No, I don't think it's bad. It's attached to an emotionally important moment. So I feel like I'm a bad person for saying if it was bad. You know what I mean? You're justifying it with how you feel, and it's not the end of the world. If I did have concerns, I would say something. Now, with this energy here, to me, this is a strong feeling of trying to make the most out of the moments that you have in December, and you feel like you don't want to put a price tag on it, but your past experiences with money are encouraging you to be more critical. That's what's happening here. It's like you want to just get wrapped up in the moment, but your past experiences, last year's Christmas is telling you, no, don't get carried away. Have a plan, please. Think about this a little bit more, please. And with the Aquarius energy here and the Ace of Needles, I think you're getting some ideas in December about what you want to do. And the way that it's coming through is like friends. You're getting inspired by your friend group. You're getting inspired by the people that you are meeting. Friends of friends, for example, family of your friends or friends of your family. And those experiences are helping you think of new ways to work, to spend money, to invest in your home, to enjoy life. And that's where you're having to come back to this critical thinking energy and go, oh, I really want to do it. Should I do it? I don't know. Should I do it? Again, you're really kind of at a good place, sweet soul. I don't feel too worried about you. You may be worried about you, which is natural. You're not spending much time at home. Maybe you're going to somebody else's home in December. Yeah, I see you changing things up. What does this have to do with their money? Spending money on family. Obviously, it's Christmas. The Fool card. I actually think that something bigger is happening for you, but I don't know if you're ready for it yet. I can see a new career or a new job opportunity, but I don't think you are going to jump on it in December. I think you're not going to want to do anything until maybe Aquarius season. And And it comes from word of mouth. It's very much somebody else trying to convince you, and you going into decision-making mode but not wanting to feel pressured by other people. So you're taking your sweet time, as a Scorpio does, and waiting until it feels right for you. So that's what I'm seeing. It's a little bit boring in that I wouldn't be too worried. It's the year to overspend, and for the most part, you're in a good place. You've thought ahead this time, unlike what happened last year or even 2 years ago. And I think you're going to have a beautiful chance to spend money as you want to with your heart. Hi, Melanie. Welcome. I'm so glad Capricorn resonated with you. I'm sorry it's taken me a while to see your comment. I've just been so focused on channeling this morning. I haven't been looking over. We're going to close Scorpio's reading now with some love predictions. Wow, I've been talking so much today. Goodness me. What is happening in love for Scorpio? We have the Hanged Man. We have 2 cards over here too. So the Hanged Man just came out. We also have Judgment. And we have the Lover's card reversed again. I think you might be spending money on a loved one, like a lot of money, because you want them there, or you want them to, you may feel like you even owe them, or like you need to pay them back. Anyway, when it comes to love, they're here again. So there's this strong feeling of like, I don't know if you feel guilty for what happened earlier in the year, or if you're just feeling very generous. What is happening? At the back of the deck is your energy, the Death card. Transformations, the start and the end merging. Well, we're seeing the end of a cycle here for sure. What is happening here when it comes to love for Scorpio spirit? Wow. Interesting. So we've got 7th house up here on St. John's wort. I feel like every time I say that, it's like not a nice thing to say, but it's a beautiful energy. We have Aquarius down here with Judgment. And we also have Uranus again reversed. So you've got some repeating cards, repeating signs. Uranus keeps coming back. 7th house keeps coming back. Aquarius. Did I even shake these dice? That's the exact same we had last time. And then we have the Lover's card reversed. Goodness. That's why it's good to do this live, because I feel like if I didn't, you'd be like, you didn't shake those dice. I thought I did. Apparently that's just the energy. So your finances and your love life are definitely crossing over here. Your emotions were so strong in your finances, and now we've got the similar sort of imagery. So your heart space is really significant part of the month ahead. We should have recognized that with acceptance and all of this energy up here. When it comes to romance specifically, there is a new cycle, but in order to enjoy that new cycle, we're embracing the end of something. And you are a Scorpio, so I don't worry too much about the Death card in your energy. To me, you're very good at working through these hard feelings because you've had to be. Like any Scorpio sun or Scorpio placement has had to go through some big highs and some big lows, and has had to, for the most part, self-manage those feelings, and be very aware of what it's like to try to work through those kinds of feelings. So you know more than anyone how those feelings come in waves as well. It's not just a clear-cut process of an ending and a beginning. It can be an undefined mess of resurging past feelings with beautiful new feelings and even fearful new feelings. I think Scorpios know more than anything how when something new comes, the fear of it can also come as well, because we don't know what to expect. Whereas other people just go, yay, something new. And then as it happens, they're like, wait a minute, there's something else going on here. I'm actually afraid because I've never been through this before. So for you, you may need to overcome your fears in order to help this cycle end. You may need to confront some hard feelings in December in order to embrace a new beginning in love. And you may need to address unresolved emotions or conversations about what has already happened in order to move forward. Now, I do think that a past relationship or an already existing relationship is needing to be addressed in December. So if you're single, obviously it would be a past relationship. If you're in a relationship now, it could still be a past relationship with the 7th house reversed. This is about recognizing that you're not the same person anymore. St. John's wort, you're radiating. You're a new version. What happened in the past happened when you were less mature, less wise, less aware, less prepared. You've come a long way, and those things aren't going to happen again. They don't have to. And so this is what feels like it's like empowering yourself with the confidence to be able to embrace a new beginning in love, the confidence to be able to take a relationship into the next level, or to be able to recognize that a relationship has ended. But it's all about building up your confidence, Scorpio, to see what is ending here so that something beautiful can continue to evolve. It's already happening because you're already growing, radiating. You're already so different. And yet in love, there's something else here that has managed to get pulled along like dead weight with you, when really it's not necessary in this new chapter. So coming down here to the Hanged Man, I see you getting some sort of perspective, either by listening to somebody else's advice or experience, or like what they feel, and getting their emotional perspective. And it's going to help you realize that there are two stories to every tale, but it's also going to help you really put yourself in the right shoes so that your heart is open for the right reasons. Does that make sense? This isn't supposed to make you feel like you need to take on everybody's emotional baggage. It's going to make you see things from a perspective that's helpful for you, so that whatever choices you make when it comes to love, they are empathetic, understanding, and well-informed. You're not just out here jumping to conclusions. You're actually covering your back just in case, you know what I mean? So I see the Hanged Man as you gaining awareness of all sides of your situation. And it could be through a loved one saying to you, Scorpio, I'm kind of worried about you. Like, you've just been isolating. Why does it always come back to that? Have you been isolating? But, you know, they could be coming through with love, compassion, and just saying like, you know, this is what I'm noticing. I love you and I just want what's best for you. And you taking that on board is really helpful, but it has to be for the right reasons. Because I think that this conversation with this loved one really illuminates some of the unknowns, but it's also confirming what you intuitively felt, but you didn't really acknowledge because you weren't sure, you didn't have evidence. Now you do. And this loved one could say all good things, but whatever they do say is going to help you overcome a fear. And instead of that being completely unknown, now you have evidence that your intuition was correct. And now you've got to figure out, what do I do about it? So over here with Judgment, we have Aquarius and Uranus, so very similar energy all in one here. We've got a wake-up call happening. I don't think this is the first time you've had Judgment. We had it in the beginning, didn't we? And this wake-up call is really about shifting into reality, because what we were subconsciously feeling, what we were going through in the background is now right in front of us. It's happening. It's posted everywhere for everyone to see, and we can't deny it now. This wake-up call isn't about making us feel bad for what we haven't done already. It's about giving us the opportunity to act on something that could make our lives better. So that's how I like to frame the Judgment card, so that we're really stepping into sovereignty when we see these moments. Sometimes the Judgment card represents moments where if we're not ready, it's like, oh my God, how am I supposed to do this? Like, are you serious? I wasn't expecting that. What's going on? What does this mean? How much time do I have? You know, like maybe that's just me and my overthinking. But really what this is a divine intervention. And Source, the universe, God, whatever label you want to use, is giving you the opportunity to step into your power and to really embrace this moment as a chance to make some fast changes in very big directions. Now, the thing is, I don't think this is completely out of the blue. Your intuition has been telling you about this for a while. It's just happening in December. Your love life is reaching a pivotal turning point with divine intervention where things are changing in a big way, but your intuition was telling you that all along. And now with the Lovers card reversed and this Death card here, it's about almost catching everybody else up. You know what I mean? Like, now that it's out there and everybody can see it, you almost have to help everyone around you get their head around it. That's what this feels like. So I think that when it comes to your love life, as these big things happen and as your subconscious awareness becomes conscious for everyone to see, you're having to tell the people around you selectively what's going on. I don't think you're going to want to tell everybody. You might actually choose to keep some of this private with the Lovers card reversed. But if a relationship is ending or a relationship is starting or moving into a new phase, these are big things. And so with the Lovers card reversed, you're choosing to be very careful about how you share that information and who you share it to. And you're expecting respect from the people around you in regards to that. Now, I do think that this is a good thing. I just think it's different for all of you. So I can't really figure out exactly what it is. It has to do with your love life. It has to do with you being confident and believing that what happened in the past isn't going to happen again. You've got this. It has to do with you stepping into your inner knowing, trusting your intuition, getting support from your loved ones in the right way because they help you see the whole picture better. And then it has to do with this becoming obvious, like a divine intervention, a wake-up call that everybody can see. And then you get to choose how to share that news in order to process this change in your love life. So that's what I'm seeing for you, Scorpio. I'm going to have to end your reading there because I talk too much, and we've got to go into Cancer's energy now. I've already been talking for so long. Scorpio, thank you so much for your time, your energy, your patience, your support. As we part ways, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Let's have a look at Cancer now. I actually got to put that in the chat as well. Alrighty. Spirit, what is happening for Cancer in the month of December? Tune me into Cancer's energy, please. What is happening for Cancer? Wow, look at you, Cancer. We have Rose, love energy, number 12, Venus, and the moon. A lot of symbols on that card as well. Spirit, what is happening for Cancer in the month of December? Did I say January? That is wild. What is happening in December? We have sensuality, Mandrake, number 45. And on this card, we have Neptune and Venus. At the back of the deck is chamomile or chamomile. Number 9, inner peace. We also have the sun and the moon on this card. Wow. This is an interesting month for you, Cancer. I think, first of all, I'm sorry, but I don't think you'll get as much rest as you wanted to. I actually see you stepping out of your solitude more than you want to, but you're stepping out of your solitude to make sure that you can sleep better at night, because you're either checking on loved ones or you're spending time with loved ones. So you're stepping out of your solitude for all the right reasons, but it just leaves you feeling like, geez, I didn't really get the time alone that I wanted. Outside of that, this is going to be a month that really challenges your balance in terms of masculinity and femininity. As energies, we have both of them within us. The masculine side is what helps us get through things. It's very action orientated, very, crisis mode. What are we doing? Let's do it now. But it can also create burnout unless we're having foresight and really reminding ourselves to slow down when we need to rest when we need to. And that's where the feminine energy comes in. The feminine energy is also more intuitive. The masculine energy is more instinctive, and it can have a stronger connection to our primal senses, whereas the feminine energy with your intuition also has a connection to your primal senses, but different parts of your body. I encourage you to look into it yourself, sweet soul. I'm not a professional of that. I'm just here reading cards and looking into things behind the scenes so that I can do my job. But I do think that for you, Cancer, this card reversed means that if you're usually more masculine by nature, in December, you're going to feel more feminine, and it's a little bit uncomfortable. You're being encouraged to slow down, to feel more, to connect with your intuition, and that's not what you're used to. You're used to being instinctive and going with the moment and acting, and so that's how it's playing out. And if you're more feminine, this month is encouraging you to be more masculine and to really seize the opportunity and to exert energy at the time. And that's obviously what's uncomfortable for you. I don't think it's a bad thing, because by the end of the month, you still feel grateful that you got to spend time with key people, and you also are surprised at how much you did. Once again, you're like, I can't believe I got that done. That's insane. I was not expecting to do that on a Friday night. I just wanted to go to bed and eat noodles, but here I am, and we did it. So the main reason you're doing all of this is this card here. And there is some self-sacrificing happening. Are we surprised, sweet soul? You are a Cancer. I feel like I'm forever having to be like, please look after yourself, Cancer. Please look after yourself, Cancer. And here we are again with Venus on both of these cards, encouraging you in December to find time for yourself and the people that you love, because it can literally go hand in hand. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It is literally hand in hand. So over here with love, I see a beautiful moment happening here between you and a loved one. I can't tell yet if it's romantic. This just feels like it's somebody that you love and you enjoy being around. And in December, you two are getting closer, creating beautiful moments together, and having the chance to enjoy your connection and really prioritize your connection in December. Outside of that, a lot of your mind and the choices that you make and the things that you prioritize in December stem from love, who you love, how you want to express love, what you want to do for love. You're in your feels, but you're also in your generous energy. And there's a strong feeling here of giving and of trying to show love through gestures. Now, with Mandrake reversed, I do worry about how much you're receiving, This is a card that talks about the sensuality of Venus, and with Neptune there, it tries to encourage us to seek experience in many different ways. For you, I don't know if your love language is actually getting addressed here, Cancer. So I just feel like your needs aren't fully being met in December. And maybe December is making you realize how there are some people who you love so much and they just don't give the same back. So let's have a look with tarot now. What is going on specifically? What is happening here for Cancer Spirit in the month of December? Hi Jen, welcome. Welcome back, I should say. We're just doing the general prediction, so really good timing. Spirit, what is happening in general for Cancer in the month of December? What is an overview? We have the Tower card reversed. Oh wow, I'm just going to take this. We have the Ten of Presents reversed, so Ten of Pentacles. We do have these two. So the Death card and the Ten of Cups reversed. Yeah, I'm glad I picked up on that. I don't know. It just feels like your family specifically is expecting too much from you. Are we surprised? Again, Cancer energy. At the back of the deck, we have the Two of Potions, so not all is lost. You have people in your corner who are supportive, who are giving you time and space to express, to connect. I think this is a really good month for core relationships. I see you really like enjoying somebody's company here and really building a solid friendship, regardless of whether this is a romantic connection, because we'll get to that at the end and see if this is romance. Whether it's like romantic, friendship, family, someone here is a really important part of your December. You're like this. They're your confidant, they're your support person, they're there to listen, to love, to support you, and they're not going to let you get away with things either. Like they hold you accountable, but they create space for you to let things out so you don't feel like you need to hold things back, which is what you want as well. Now, with this really close companion in mind, there are other things that are getting out of hand here in December. One of the things with the Tower card reversed has already happened, a big sort of change, a massive, how do I even word this for you? You're still picking up the pieces of what this is in December, but it happened already. It was a very big turning point. It affected multiple areas of your life. It affected multiple people in your life. And now in December, you're starting to feel like the situation is getting better. You don't have to worry about it too much. It's not as stressful, but you're still in that unknown space of creating stability around it. Whatever this change was, it was very sudden, and I want to say unexpected, but maybe not so unexpected. It just affected a lot of different areas of your life. So coming into December, your priority is here. You're still in crisis mode. You're still in survival mode, sorting this out while also trying to get into the holiday spirit. And life just feels a little bit cruel at the start of December. You're like, really? Like, I'm supposed to be festive and jolly, and I've still got to deal with this. So I want to say that your nerves are a little bit fried coming into December. You still need to realize that you don't have a lot of capacity. You don't have a lot to give. There's, you shouldn't be signing up for things. You shouldn't be expected to organize anything. And maybe that's why we have these two signs of family reversed. Maybe it's starting to annoy people in your extended circle. It's starting to annoy people in your community. They might be like, really, Cancer, you usually do this and you can't this year. It's not your fault. Like, I'm actually getting very defensive of you. And I think that your heart is always in the right place. But I just feel with the 10 of Presents reversed and the 10 of Potions reversed, like there are people who are feeling like they're missing out because of this situation that you're still handling. Whatever the Tower moment was, you didn't make it happen. It happened to you, and now you're trying to fix it. And yet here, it's manifesting as people feeling like they want to blame you for it. Let's figure out what's going on with the dice, Spirit. The Sun. Wow. We also have the first house down here blocked. And we have the Capricorn card up here. Capricorn dice up here. So parents, children, blended families. What else is going on here? Jobs. Like your work conflicting with family time. Your priorities, your other responsibilities conflicting with each other. Maybe feeling like it's not really working together. You're being torn between two different places. It reminds me of when like families grow. Like we're at this stage in my family. My generation's all older now. Everybody's got their own kids. And Christmas looks very different this time of year. Trying to figure it out is like, what? I don't know. So maybe that's what's going on here. You're trying to figure out how to do everything you need to do, want to do, and feel obligated to do. But like, at what point do you go, far out, this is impossible? With the 10 of Presents reversed, family was coming through strongly, but community was the second word that came out. So it does feel like this could even be happening in a workplace. And if you feel really close with your colleagues and they are like your work family, it could feel like you didn't get to end the year well with them, or you didn't get to enjoy those final moments of 2025 with them. Try not to take it too hard, Cancer. I think that whatever happened is just like a practical thing. It shouldn't change how you feel about each other. With this Sun energy here, I can't help but think you're being too hard on yourself. I don't think these people actually feel that way. And that's why I wanted to clarify with the dice. When I see the first house is self, the Sun is identity, I think you're holding this against yourself because you wanted to be there more, or you wanted to have more done, or make more of an impact, or organize more, or just bring more people together. Maybe you were hoping for more, and maybe you're feeling in December like, did I do enough? I'm not quite where I want to be. I haven't quite achieved what I want to achieve. I once again haven't met my own expectations. So I think you're taking yourself for a ride here by holding yourself once again to very high standards. And that's not a bad thing to want so much for yourself, but in December, try not to let it get the best of you. 10 of Potions reversed with Capricorn. I can't help but feel like December takes you for a ride, and it makes you think that the people who love you and support you are looking at you differently. And I actually don't think that they are. I think that they are actually wondering, like, are you okay? What's going on here? Last we heard, your tower burnt down. What's going on? Like, we haven't really seen much, heard much. And I would like to clarify and move forward, but I just want to give you a bit more peace of mind before we go into the Death card energy. Because I think we could get more messages in your career and in your love life, but let's just clarify here just to make sure. Spirit, what is going on here for Cancer? Yeah, well, we tried to avoid the Death card and then it came out. Oh my goodness, life is funny. So that's that's the best thing you can do, sweet soul, is just laugh in the face of this situation, because first of all, you've done enough. Would you believe me if I told you that tower moment was character building? I know, how dare I? That's so cheeky of me. But really, the whole point of that tower moment was to encourage you to not take life so seriously. That tower came down because it wasn't stable to begin with. So when you end this year, really tell yourself, am I taking myself too seriously again? Am I making myself, you know, the bad guy for no reason? Like, what is going on here? And maybe it's time to shed that baggage and just acknowledge that I can't control everything, even if I really want to, even if I'm putting all my time and effort and energy into it. Life happens, and these moments in life humble us to remind us that we're human. Society makes us think that we have to have everything together, and we're conditioned to believe that we should be organized and well prepared, but nature prevails to remind us that we're only human. These things happen. We can't plan for everything, prepare for anything, which is why feelings and emotions are uncontrollable, because they're natural and they remind us that we're natural. So I think that's what's happening here in December. You're being reminded that you're human, you're naturally flawed, and that's okay, because we all are. And there are still people in your life who care about you enough to want to know that you're okay. So do what you need to work through these feelings, but make sure that you're not isolating yourself because you think everybody hates you, because they don't. They love you, they're worried about you, and someone is going to be annoying you with, are you okay? What's going on? When can I see you? I'm bringing food over. Open the door. I'm here. Thank you for having me. I'm coming back tomorrow, with that kind of message. So let them. And it's really important that you open up to the people that you trust, who are holding space to you, for you, so that you're not carrying this too deeply. Yeah. You're so much more than you give yourself credit for, Cancer. Let's have a look now at your finances. Hi, sweet souls. Welcome. Welcome back, I should say, Mikasa. And personal readings, I still need to work through readings today. And then once I get those ones done, I'll have a better understanding of where I'm at. I am still doing personal readings, and I've made time for them for the end of this week for new readings, but I just need to make sure that I can get through everything that I've committed myself to today. It's been weird energy-wise. That's what's the problem. When I do personal readings, I do want my energy to be completely neutral. But I don't know about you guys. I've just been feeling like there's something happening energetically. It's very unpredictable. In the last 2 months, I just feel like things are just constantly, yeah. So I don't know. Haven't been paying much attention to what's happening astrologically, but I've just been having to really take personal readings in my stride, and readings in general. That's why I couldn't commit to the November predictions on this channel. I just ran out of the right energy to read, and it was just back into self-preservation mode. So I feel good. That's why I'm here today. But I'm really trying not to overdo it, and I'm trying to just make sure that I give you guys the best of me as well. So I'm going to see how I go today with the readings that I've committed to already, and then hopefully you'll get an email before the end of the week. I'm aiming for Thursday Arvo, if not Friday morning, with a better understanding of how many readings I can put in stock. So I hope that answers that. Thank you so much, and you too. I definitely feel like there's something going on up there, but it's just that time of year. So much happens for all of us as a planet. So I think it's just a bit unpredictable when you feel too much and you're channeling energy as a practice. So Spirit, let's bring it back to Cancer though. We're looking at your finances now. What is happening financially for Cancer, Spirit? Wow, 5 of Potions reversed. What else can you tell us about Cancer's finances? The Emperor. Look at him. I do like the Emperor's energy and your energy. I think you work well with the Emperor. And the 9 of Needles. At the back of the deck is the 3 of Potions. Awesome. Spirit, what else can you tell us about Cancer's finances, work, career? That's good. We have the 6th house upright on the love card. We also have your energy down here between the Emperor and the 9 of Needles. Love that. And we have Saturn on the 9 of Needles. I think you should rest assured that any concerns you have about your career, about your work ethic, your job security, they should start to disappear in December. You should end December feeling more at peace and more confident with where your job is headed. And for a lot of you, this is about feeling like you still have a job at the end of the year, or feeling like you're still doing enough to maintain the commitments that you have financially. I do think that there's this peace of mind here with the 9 of Needles and the Saturn and the 6th house. Like, you do have the ability to spend money on the people you love and on yourself because you deserve that. But you also are handling your business. You're paying your bills, you're, chipping away at that loan, and you're making sure that you're meeting your employer's expectations, or if you're self-employed, you're meeting your business's expectations, your customers' expectations, etc. So lots of peace of mind here. The 9 of Needles reversed isn't just one sign to ease your anxiety. It's a strong symbol of you're okay, it's not that bad. So there's going to be lots of different information and confirmation that things are okay, it's not that bad. I think when it comes to money, for the 5 of Potions to come out, this makes me wonder if getting through this month is about making sure, and that's so similar to what you just said, Jen, it's about making sure that you're finishing this month for the right reasons. And so the 5 of Cups reversed is almost like overcoming disappointment, trying to maintain a positive mindset, trying to really tell yourself okay, this situation sucks, or this is a really difficult moment, but it's going to get better. And it's really a feeling of reframing so that you're not letting your heavy feelings and heavy thoughts get worse. So when it comes to money, there's this optimistic mindset that really helps December feel like, okay, I'm in control. I'm the one steering this. I've got this. I'm responsible. I'm accountable. I'm in charge, but I'm also handling it well. And the Cancer side of you is really good at that. Your cardinal energy is really good at that, but also you tend to be over prepared. So I wouldn't be too worried about not being prepared enough. I would be worried about being so prepared that you've unnecessarily stressed yourself out. But that's okay, because people know that about you and love that about you. And ending December helps you feel that about you as well. You're able to go, okay, so it's going to be okay. This year ended well, and I'm going to be able to start January feeling confident. With that being said, I actually do see you working hard in December. So, with the other signs that I've read for today, I could see them taking some time off in December. even if you have scheduled time off, you look like someone that's still planning, still preparing, still working. So with the 6th house and the Saturn energy here, even if you're not working for your employer or within your job, your work ethic really comes through strongly in how you choose to spend money and make money in December. Financially, there is a strong sense of balance here. And even if you feel like, oh my God, I'm losing control, I'm spending too much, or I really need to make sure I'm budgeting before I, take this break, you're actually doing really well. And I see overall in December a strong sense of balance. If you were to zoom out on the month, there is a strong feeling of like a balanced graph. If we were going to chart December and what you're spending, what you're making, there's this overall feeling of it's heading in the right direction. With the 3 of Potions here, when it comes to money, I do think that your relationship to people and certain feelings at the time could sway the choices that you make, but you also don't need to spend a lot of money in order to enjoy time with people. And that's the core message here, is that you can have fun while still being responsible and in control as you want to be. You can still create moments of celebration, of people coming together, of joy and memories and fun without feeling like you're overdoing it. So that's really beautiful. I hope that's helpful in curbing some anxiousness and fears about how this year is going to end financially. The 6th house has come out a lot, and for the other 2 signs, it was a point of tension in that it was obvious that maybe there was some overspending or needing to take out more money, to borrow more money. Whereas for you, I actually see you getting into a place of balance where you're either paying something out or you're even in a position to lend money to somebody. I know, how crazy. But it won't be more than what you have for yourself. Does that make sense? Very strong sense of balance here. Let's close by having a look at your love life. What is happening in love for Cancer in December? I nearly wanted to say January. Yeah, I can imagine that, Jen. Yes, I have a lot of air too, and you'd think that all my earth balances it out, but no. My Gemini rising and my Aquarius Venus are too in the moment, too impulsive. They want to live their best lives. We have Knight of Presents coming out for your love life. What else do we have? We have the 5 of Candles. What else, Spirit? Did that flip? No. And we have Temperance. So at this point, I'm seeing strong Sagittarius energy. We do have your energy up here, Cancer, Taurus, some Libra, Pisces, and Leo. At the back of the deck is the 7 of Needles. Wow. So I do want to start with the presents, actually. Knight of Presents is Knight of Pentacles. So a strong feeling here of committing to something that you've already started, following it through, whether it was an idea, an intention, a relationship, a plan. It's all kind of hand in hand. Even if it was a relationship, there was a plan here, there was an intention, there was an idea, and we're following it through in December when it comes to love, with a lot of discipline too, because the Knight of Presents doesn't play. This is a strong feeling of like taking it seriously. It's also Virgo energy. Is there anything else you can tell us, Spirit? I just wanted to make sure nothing was going to land on that. It's also Virgo energy, so it has this strong sense of perfection and wanting to do things the right way, wanting to hold yourself to a high standard, and making sure that when it comes to love, you're getting the best outcome. So I think with love in December, I want to cover a few bases. If you are single, it feels like this is going to be about making sure that you hold those high standards just in case anybody's, coming in with the wrong intentions, making sure that you're not overcomplicating your month because you don't want to repeat cycles. You want to stay on the track that you're on right now. You feel like you're starting December in the right energy and you want to finish December in the right energy. And you can apply that to those who are in relationships or situationships or any connection, starting the month in the right space with this strict sort of idea and understanding of how you want to act, and hoping that you finish the month in the right way as well, with some sort of plan on making your love life better and either creating a life with somebody you already know or with someone who you're preparing to meet. With the Seven of Needles here, you're not telling everybody this. In fact, your love life is very sacred, personal, and precious. You're coveting what you're planning, what you're wanting, and you're maybe trying to come across as a little bit nonchalant, as a little bit secretive. People may be expecting you to open up more than what you're wanting to. And even if you've met somebody recently, it feels like you don't want to tell everybody about it because you don't want to jeopardize it. So in December, I see here, especially with the Five of Candles, we've got the 12th house, we've got the Cancer energy here with the moon. The Five of Candles is giving a strong feeling of tension, of everybody having an opinion about your love life. And I think when you get a lot of people together too, over this holiday season, December tends to bring people together. It just feels like everybody wants to kind of go, well, because they don't know a lot. They're wanting to fill in the gaps. They're wanting to put the pressure on you and ask you, hey, remember last year when you were talking about so-and-so? What happened there? Can you bring that up again? And you're like, what? Are you serious? That was like a whole 12 months ago. And you want me to go through it all again and hurt myself again? Like, what? And it could feel like, even if you're not in those conversations, sorry, I just needed to wipe my nose. Even if you're not in those conversations, it feels like people are still having them behind your back. And I don't like that for you at all. It does seem like everybody has an opinion about your love life in December. And what you're having to do is choose who to kind of give energy to. And this comes back to, I think, other people somehow feeling entitled to an opinion about what's going on in your business. With this moon energy here, you're doing the exact opposite. You're not wanting to feed into it. You're not wanting to fuel it or instigate it. You're actually holding your cards very close to your chest, and you're keeping your personal feelings, again, plans, desires, very close to your chest. With the 12th house reversed here, a lot of people are getting this impression that something isn't resolved. Like, you still have unfinished business, you still have baggage, you still, like, what happened to that person? Are you actually okay? And if you've moved on, if you're in another relationship or you've moved on in your relationship, other people are still bringing it up for some reason. So that's tricky. But I don't think it's actually going to affect you too much, because look who we have next to this, Temperance and Justice, which is Libra energy right here. I think that's just something that happens. It's what's come through in this reading, but you come out the other side actually still maintaining your sense of harmony, peace, and you still are needing to choose. Like, oof, that kind of triggered me a little bit hearing about that, but I'm choosing to ignore it and focus on this instead. So Temperance to me is like active management of your feelings as they arise. You can't just expect to you can't just expect it to happen without you trying. To me, Temperance is the active effort of tempering your emotions, your moods, but it pays off. because it gives you what you're looking for in December when it comes to love. And ultimately, you're looking for respect. You're looking for people who value you, and you're looking for a relationship that is going to align with where you are now, who you are now. You're not looking to bring up the past and to create drama just because people are bored. You're looking for this commitment, this plan to play out. So if you're single, you're staying focused on your objective here. If you're in a relationship, same sort of thing actually. Staying focused on your objective, remaining as level-headed as you can be, as diplomatic as you can be, as balanced as you can be, because that's in your best interest. And for the most part, that involves doing things behind the scenes and not telling everybody everything, because why do they feel so entitled? Very crazy. What else is happening here, Spirit? Because you're my last sign. Is there anything else here? Bye, Jen. Sorry I only saw that now. You might rewatch this, so I'll say goodbye anyway. Holy moly, look at that. At the back of the deck, we have the Five of Cups, Justice, and the Emperor. Justice is coming out again. Your energy has had the Emperor throughout. You've been in this Emperor energy, Cancer. When it comes to December and your love life, you don't need to tell anybody anything. You don't need to do anything except trust yourself, your choices, your decision making, your relationship, whatever it is. If you're single, you still need to stand on 10 toes and back your own word, because you've got this. Other people have, unfortunately, a way of making you feel sad this month. Whether they're unintentionally making you feel guilty or intentionally trying to bring up the past and feelings that you've worked really hard to overcome. It shouldn't affect you. And I'm going to go ahead and confidently say that because you've seen this reading, it won't affect you. But it's good to be aware of, it's good to be mindful of, and it's good to prepare yourself for, because your love life is on track. If you've already got someone in your life and you feel like they're worth committing to or investing more energy into, it's heading that way in December. They are worth riding through this with. If you're single and you're open to meeting someone, you're on the right track to meeting that person who is going to be able to give you what you deserve. And if you're in a relationship that has had some rocky roads and you've chosen to hold it down, again, same message. Other people don't seem to agree, but that's on them. Don't let it bother you, to play devil's advocate. But I'm reading for you, Cancer, so that's the truth of it. That's what I'm seeing for you. I'm going to have to end this reading. It's been a long one. I appreciate you all for tuning in for however long you tuned in for. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and your support. Until we meet again, sweet souls, I wish you peace, prosperity, abundance, happiness, health, wealth, success, and joy on your journey ahead. Bye.